Thank you so much for introducing me today, and to all those people that have come to one of our other sessions. It's lovely to see you again. And if you're new, welcome, welcome. This is my most favorite session to impart knowledge to everybody on, because it's a lot of hands-on, it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of engagement and learning and takeaways that you can take from today. So I've been a classroom teacher for more than 20 years, and I'm now a Canva Learning Consultant, but bring with me the past 5 years of creating educational content for Canva. So a lot of the educational resources that you guys find on Canva and that you might be using, I have contributed to that educational library within there. Before we get started, I do love to see not only your reactions of excitement, but also confusion. So if then I can gauge as to whether or not I'm pitching this too high. So if you do have your camera on, I'm not here to check out what's happening, if you're marking or whatever it is you might be doing at the same time, because we know that teachers like to multitask, but I just like to be able to gauge your sort of comfort level and where you're sitting at in terms of understanding where I'm heading towards during the session. But please come off mute, and as mentioned, split your screen, because we do have a lot of hands-on learning today. It is the best way to get into Canva. A lot of people open up Canva and they're not really sure where to start, because there's so many things we can do in there and it can be overwhelming. And honestly, the best way to learn is to just do. So let's do it together. If you want to drop into the chat, or if you want to hold up a finger if you have your camera on, let me know how your comfort level or your confidence level with using Canva. I would consider myself a 5. However, I'm learning new things every single day. So there are new things being added to Canva constantly. There's new apps, there's new functions, there's new features, and I'm forever teaching myself new things. So whilst I would consider myself a pro, I'm always learning. This is so good. We've got a bunch of ones, so I'm glad, and I'm hoping that our people sitting at 1 have been able to log in, and I'll walk you through that in just a second. Great. So we've got a wide range. This is excellent. What I'm going to get you guys to do, whilst I just talk about the agenda, is to go to your portal and to log into Canva, ensuring that you haven't accidentally single signed into a Google account, because it may automatically make one for you. You want to be in your education account today, because that's going to give you access to all of the pro features that Canva gives to us. So today we're going to look at what Canva for Education is, magic media and whiteboard work. So we're going to be diving into a lot of the AI tools within Canva. So even if you're sitting at a 1 and you're not familiar with Canva, I'm going to be sending links into the chat for you guys to be able to click on, and then you'll be able to get in there and we can work on things together. And we'll have some time for some Q&A and resources at the end. Thank you for popping that into there, Abigail. Logging into the EdPass portal and signing in. Whilst we're doing that, only 30 seconds, just quickly, for those who are sitting at a 1 and might think, oh, Canva's somewhere cool that I can go and make an invitation for my kid's birthday party. There's actually 90 million students and teachers using Canva monthly, and of the 170 million users worldwide, we are more than half of that. And that means that more than half of Canva's accounts are free. So that's pretty incredible for, a company to provide something like that to more than half of their users for free, which is insane. We have so much more than just the birthday invitation and the poster for the wall. We have access to presentations. We have access to a recording studio to make videos. You can create your CV on there. You can create websites, school newsletters, you name it. If you think of it and if you can dream it on a digital platform, we can do it in Canva. So let's get straight into it. What we're going to do is we're going to have our Canva account open onto a brand new page. I'm just going to flip between, I have 2 accounts here. I'm hoping you can now see a big red banner. We all good with a big red banner there?
No, we're still on the Dreamlab slide.
I feel like I'm going to have to keep going to my sharing page here and ensure that I'm sharing my whole window. So give me 1 second to go in and share.
If you share the screen rather than the window, then that should work.
There we go. So now when I drag this one over, you can see a red banner.
Yep, we can.
Yay!
Yes, we can see it.
So this is what the view that you guys will have, but it's the view you'll only have for another week or so, because on the 20th of May, which in Australia is actually the 21st of May, your Canva homepage is going to look a little different. It will look like this. So it's going to look a little different, and I'm going to show you from this perspective because that's what you're using today. You can double check that you're in the correct account by just heading up to that top right-hand corner and ensuring that you're in your education account, which if you've gone through EdPass portal, you'll have gotten in the right way. What I want you guys to do is we have a variety of different ways that we can access AI through Canva. So when you're on your homepage, head on over to the left-hand side and you're going to see, you can see my big green hand here. It's Home, Projects, Templates, Brand, Apps, Classwork, and Dreamlab. Now, I'm hoping that you all have access to Dreamlab today because I know that AI, some functionality can be turned on and off depending on who your IT administrator is. But if you click on Dreamlab, it's going to open up into this page where you guys can work on a prompt and it's going to generate an image for you. Now, we would generally recommend that this one is turned off for students. So if you are in a school where you can have these conversations with your hierarchical system and seeing if you know AI might be something you might want to implement in a certain subject area or in a certain class, Dreamlab is one we would actually recommend you steer clear of because it does use third-party software called Leonardo AI. However, for you guys, this is a lot of fun because we trust that you are not going to try and break the system in the same way that students tend to want to. Here we just simply type in our prompt and we don't even have to get really specific about the style that we want the image to look like because Canva's really smart. And when you click on this smart button here, you can actually choose from a whole bunch of preset styles from which you can choose from. To the right of that, you can also choose your aspect ratio. So I know a couple of years ago when I was working in Midjourney, I would have to type in my aspect ratio here. I just have to simply tap on a button. And the really cool thing with this is I can actually add a photo and it's going to take a likeness of that image and try to recreate it in an AI format, which is a bit of fun when you are wanting to work on an image of yourself to try and create an avatar of yourself that looks or resembles you. So I'm actually going to get you guys to, if you've split your screen, you'll have me on one side. I want you to type in a prompt here. Our last activity I did was I created a wombat here. My favorite animal is a wombat, and I added a bow tie and a top hat, and I just simply changed the style with the exact same prompt to come up with two completely different results. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes now to jump into your Dreamlab on the left-hand side of your homepage. And we're going to type in, and you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what I want you to write. Let's create something cool. I'm going to create a superhero teacher. Saving the day. Kind, caring, and surrounded by happy children. When I'm ready, I can choose my style and I'm going to choose two completely different ones and I'm going to generate two completely different results. Let's go with cinematic and I'm going to click create. Give it a couple of seconds. It's quite fast. You know, if we were going to go and draw this, it would take a lot longer. So look at these cool pictures that it's come up with. It's actually given me a likeness of trademarked characters, which is why we're saying that this is using third-party software. It's not as safe, or students may try to break the system a little bit more than Magic Media, which I will show you in a little while. So if you guys want to generate one and then use the exact same prompt up the top there and simply change the style. So I chose cinematic for this one, and this time I'm now going to choose pop art. And let's just have a look at the same prompt with two completely different results. Now, we've used this in my school. We had the teacher put this up on the board and the students would write descriptive writing. I've come from a primary school background. We had grade 1 writing about delicious gooey donuts, and they had to write all these adjectives to describe their donuts, and the teacher would write this into the prompt engine and they would generate their picture. And that was a really amazing activity for the students to see their work come to life. But also it was an awesome editing activity because the kids would say, oh, hang on, where are all my rainbow sprinkles? And I would say, well, you didn't write that in your prompt, so can you go back and edit your work? And they'd race back to their tables and they'd include a lot more detail in their writing. So this was just a really fun way for students to be able to visualize their written piece. So from as young as 6 years old, our kids were being able to see their work come to life. That was coordinated by the teacher. But check it out, 2 completely different ways to generate an image using the same prompt with two different styles. Now, if you wanted to work on one of these pictures, and we can edit these pictures as much as we like, we simply tap on one of them and we can then click on edit in a design, and it's going to take us into our editor space. Once you're in your editor space, there's lots and lots of things that we can do with this picture that we've created. We can remove parts of it, we can substitute parts of it, we can add additional elements from down the left-hand side here. For my friends who are sitting at a 1, who are, a bit unfamiliar with Canva, if you guys just simply click on your image that you like and click on edit in a design, it's going to take you out of Canva's homepage and into Canva's editor. And this is, as the name suggests, a place where we can create, manipulate, and design to our heart's content. Now, most of the functionality that we use when we're within our editor is on the left-hand side under elements. So if you wanted to add something else to this picture, if you wanted to add a comic burst, let's type that in there. You would simply find one you like, tap on it, and it will send it into that space. You can edit by adding some text here. You can either click on the text button on the left-hand side here, or as mentioned in a previous session we've done, if you click on the letter T, it's going to add a text box straight into your space there as well. So you can click on the letter T to add some text, and we can go superheroes unite. There we go. So you can edit in that way, but there's other ways that we can also edit our picture using AI. And I'm going to come back, and we're actually going to have a play of this in a minute, but I'm going to show you where we access it. So a lot of the tools that we need when we're in the editor, we can find down the left-hand side. You'll see the design button, elements, text, brand, uploads, all of these awesome tools. But if I wanted to edit any writing or anything, any image that I have on my page, when I tap on it, I will get an additional toolbar that floats along the top here. So if you want to have a go at that now, you simply tap on the picture and you'll see that I now have this toolbar up the top here. And this is where I can use my Magic Media and my Magic Studio functions. So I'm going to hit this edit button on the left-hand side here. And I have access to an entire suite of AI tools called Magic Studio. And we're going to come back and play with that in a minute. For those people who are sitting at a 1 and haven't really used this before, this is exactly the same way that we can access our text functions, is simply by tapping on the text. And now we have a floating toolbar along the top there. So that's pretty cool. Before we come back and have a look at how we can edit this picture using our Magic Studio, I'm going to ask that everybody just hovers down the bottom of their editing space, and you'll see you have your Zoom scroll bar down there. And to the right of it, it says Pages. And we have a couple of different ways that we can view, but I want to ensure that everybody is in the thumbnail view. And you'll know that you're in the thumbnail view because you have your main picture here, but you can see a smaller icon of it underneath. And this is a really useful way, and I would suggest that you always ensure that you leave thumbnail view on, because it's a really easy way for you to be able to look at a variety of pages in here, add to your deck, and move between pages really seamlessly. So what I'm going to do is, if you all
Joy,
just, yes,
can you show us one more time how to
yes,
get to that page view? Thank you.
yep, absolutely. So if you head on down, watch my green mouse down here. If we head down the bottom, you'll be able to see like a zoom scrolling bar. And then to the right of it, it says pages. And if you click on pages, you can click on it a couple of times and ensure that you are in the view where you can see your main image and a smaller image of it as well. Give me a thumbs up if you've got that. Am I going too fast for you, Gillian? Okay, let me try. I'll try and slow down. There's so many wonderful things to talk about. Never enough time. Okay, so what I'm going to get you guys to do is, when you see your picture down the bottom here, if you click the plus button, you'll be able to add another page really easily. And this is where we can add other pictures. And I'm going to get everybody to just make sure they've got a brand new page open here. If you're in the wrong view, it'll say there'll be an option for you to add a page underneath. So if scrolling view is your preferred method, you can click on the add page, but you don't want to scroll for days. Make sure, best practice, keep in that thumbnail view. So let's all add a new page. And what I'm going to get you now to do is, on this blank page, if you just bring your cursor over to the left-hand side where it says elements, we are going to type in the name of the name of an animal. Choose your favorite animal. And so I'm just going to come back one more time. I'm going to delete this page so I can repeat what we just said. If we head on down to the bottom right-hand corner where it says pages, make sure you're in thumbnail view and click the plus button here. You'll have a brand new page and you'll be able to easily flick between all the different pages in your design. Then if we head over to the elements on the left-hand side, so if you can check it out down here, it says design up the top and elements underneath. When you tap on elements, this is where we can access all of our photos, our videos, frames, polls, quizzes, charts, tables, a variety of things within here. But what I'm going to get you guys to do is, in the search bar at the top here, so you'll have a little magnifying glass and it says search elements. If you type in the name of your favorite animal and click enter, you will be able to see that we have lots of graphics, lots of photos, lots of videos and audio. I'm surprised by the amount of audio that we have there for a wombat. So just quickly, just type in the name of your favorite animal, click enter, and you can then siphon between any of those by clicking on the little breadcrumbs trail along the top here as well. But for this first activity that we're going to do, I want you to click on the Photos tab. So you've got your name of your animal here, and underneath it says All Graphics and Photos. Click on Photos. That way we are only seeing our photo results. And I want you to select a picture of your animal that has a background. So this one here with a white background is not so good for my activity. I'm going to tap on this one here. And as soon as I tap on it, it's going to send it to my design space. So if you want to add your photo of your animal to your design space, do that now. Awesome. All right. Now I can't edit this picture until I tap on it. So once you selected it, you're going to see I now have this toolbar along the top. So I'll go out. I don't have a toolbar. When I tap on it, I now have the option to edit this picture. The first thing I'm going to get you to do is to head to this button that says BG Remover. I wonder if anybody knows what BG stands for. You can drop it in the chat. Yay, background. You can click on background remover and within seconds, you have now taken away the background of your image. What you would need to do in another software that we have that, often requires a university degree is it's several steps to do the same thing, but Canva's made it really easy for you to do that. Now, this is a really cool activity if you were going to create a poster and you had students that you were going to, create a poster, like an all about me poster, and a child took a photo of themselves, they would be able to superimpose just their body or their head on top of another image, which is a really fun way for them to maybe create an all about me background, all about me poster. Or we've used this in the case of preschool students, even where they took a photo of the kid in dress ups, what do I want to be when I grow up? And we took a photo of the kids wearing their fireman's hats, but they were standing in front of a blank wall at school. We removed the background of that wall and we superimposed them in front of a fire station. So there's lots of different cool ways that you guys can use this cool feature. The other fun thing about this is not only does it remove the background from photos, but it also removes the background from videos. So if you just simply head back over to your Elements tab where you can see all of your animals on the side there, and we siphoned to the photos there, but I want you to click on the videos one this time. And I want you to find a video of your animal. And when you tap on it, it's going to send it into your design space, and you can follow those exact same steps. Tap on the video and click BG Remover. So when you add that photo, you simply head over to your Elements, click on your video, tap the video to access the BG Remover, and within a couple of seconds, it will have removed that background. Now, this one wasn't perfect because there was obviously a lot of grass in the foreground. So maybe if I'm not happy with that one, I could find another picture, another video. Let's see what happens here. Let's remove the background from that one. So lots of fun. I tend to do this as a fun activity where I might say to the students, I want you to think about your animal and I want you to put him into a habitat that he may not survive in. So I might put my wombat in underneath the ocean or into outer space or something like that. So that is the first cool tool within the Canva editor that uses AI. Let's head on down to underneath where we have our thumbnail view. You'll have the picture of your AI that you guys generated. You'll have your video and your photo that you just took your background away from. Let's add a new page now. So we have a third page. It's a blank page. What I'm going to get you guys to do here is click on the T for text, and that will simply add a text box into your space. So click on T on your keyboard. It's going to add a text box. And I always say to my students, this isn't Word. We can't just start to type when there's no text box. They all get in here and they're like, how come when I'm typing, things aren't popping up? You'll actually notice we have lots of different shortcuts, and I just clicked the letter L to get a line. But when I click T for text, I get a text box, and we have to teach our students to double tap into a text box to use. So the first couple of times that you get your students into Canva, make sure that you have that conversation with them. I want you guys to write one sentence about yourself. So I'm going to say, Joe is a Canva learning consultant who loves to share Canva to Australian schools. So simply just type in a sentence about yourself, or it could be about your animal that you just did a background remove on. I'll give you a minute to type that in. And what we're going to do with this is I'm going to show you how we can use the Magic Write tool. So we've used Dreamlab to generate an image. We're going to use, we've done background remover, and now we're going to use the Magic Write tool. So get that sentence typed in, and you'll notice that when I have not selected my text, I have no ability to edit it. So again, I have to tap on that text box, and I get that big floating toolbar along the top here. But I also get, and I'll zoom in to show you, I also get this little floating toolbar just above it. And you'll see I have a blue pen. That's my Magic Write blue pen here. Now, this is only available for teachers at the moment. Students cannot access this, but it is well worth knowing that this is going to help you save time when you're creating content for students. So if you tap on that on your text bar and you see the little magic blue pen, Click on that and you're going to get a drop down of a bunch of different ways that you can use your Magic Write. So we can generate a quiz from this, and you're more than welcome to play along with this at the same time. I'll show you quickly what that looks like when I click Generate Quiz. If you have a presentation that you've sent to your students, you could check for understanding by creating a quiz based on any of the text that you have written in on one of your slides. So how cool is that? I'm just going to move that to the side so we can keep it there. We can also, when we click on that magic blue pen, we can write a custom prompt. So maybe I might say, rewrite this prompt or rewrite this in a whole paragraph or add some extra detail about what Canva is. So this is where we can create our own prompt. We can also rewrite this. So we might want to, add a bit of flair to it, add a little bit more context and bulk it up, or maybe we want to shorten it. There's the ability to shorten there as well. Fix any spelling. You will be able to find any typos that you make. So if I put in an extra A here, if I tap into there, it will give me a red underline. It's worth knowing because a lot of people say there's no spell check within Canva. Do double tap into your space. You won't be able to see it until you've selected that space. And we also have the ability to make it a little more fun or formal, and sprinkling fairy dust is a bit of fun as well. So if you've got some quirky kids and you want to make it a little bit more fun for them, you can sprinkle a bit of fairy dust there, and it's going to just jazz it up a bit more with some cool, keywords and jargon for kids. So here is Joe, a Canva Learning Consultant, passionately spreading the magic of Canva. So see how it's just jazzed it up a little bit for you? And you can simply click replace and in it goes. So Magic Write is a really fun way and a good way for you guys to be able to add a bit of text or writing within a presentation or a document that you have open. Okay, we have some more cool things I want to show you, but firstly I'm going to share with you back on my demo page. Let me go back to my presentation. We have a link that I'm going to share with you for Magic Media. So Magic Media is the safe way that we can get our students in and working on Canva if your school has permitted you to do so. So by default, only teachers or educators have that permission set, but it is a conversation that you might want to have depending on the content that you'd like to deliver. Maybe you're a Digi-Technologies teacher or you're a media arts teacher or whatever it may be. That's a conversation to have with your management. But Magic Studio for you is a really fun way to get in there and to create images based on a prompt, very similar to Dreamlab. So I'll just quickly show you how we can access that.
Wrong again.
Am I talking, if I am talking too fast again, do let me know. If you just want to quickly, down the bottom, add a fourth page to your design, I'll quickly show you how we can access Magic Media. On the left-hand side, again, under Elements, you'll have to clear the recent search that you made by clicking on the X, and then you'll be able to access all of the different element functions again. So making sure that we go into Elements and we've cleared our search, you'll be able to see just underneath our images here, it'll say AI Image Generator. And this one here is where you're not going to be able to break the system. It comes under a lot more safety regulations. So when you click on Generate Your Own, this is very similar looking to Dreamlab. And again, this is where we can type in a prompt. But the only real difference here, apart from it having stricter and safer protocols, is you won't be able to add an image of a likeness of somebody to then be able to generate an image that's similar to it. So this is very similar to Dreamlab, but with extra safety built in. So what I'm going to do is we're all going to have a go in a second creating an image using Magic Media, but we're going to be able to celebrate each other's work. So I'm going to give you guys a whiteboard that we're going to work on. I'm going to copy this link and pop it into the chat. And when you click on the link, before you tap on anything, You'll be able to start seeing each other, start popping up here in my top corner, because this is a collaborative space where we can all work on. I'll drop it in there one more time. There we go. I've got some more friends starting to join me. Look at this. Now, this always is a conversation to have with your students before you work in a collaborative space, is to just make sure that we are respecting the work of other people. I love this because it kind of tracks where everybody's moving, so you'll be able to see each other's cursors moving around, but you can also tap on the icons of each person up the top there, and you can follow a person as well. If you've come under an anonymous name, that means you may not be signed into Canva or your Canva for Education account, and so it'll just assign you a funny animal name. So when we're in this space, I'm going to do a demo before I ask you to do it. What we're going to do is we're going to create a superhero picture of ourselves using Magic Media, and we're going to drop it into these frames. So these frames that look like a lovely landscape are called placeholders, and you can drop any picture, any photo, or any video into that space, and it will take up that space. We can then double tap into here, and we can change our name as well. So let me demo first, and then we can all have a go. On Elements, on the left-hand side, we scroll down till we see the AI image generator. And I want you to generate a superhero image of yourself. So superhero teacher saving the day. And when you generate your image, it'll take just a couple of seconds. You select from one of the 4 that you like the best. It's nice and slow today. There we go. Here's me. And when you tap on it, you simply grab that picture and hover it over the top of the frame and let go. And it's going to drop it into that space. And then you can add it. What I'm going to do is I'll demonstrate it again for those that want to watch, but for those that want to get started, go for it. We are going to head to the left-hand side to Elements and scroll down, down, down until we see the AI image generator, where we click on Generate Your Own. And this is where you're going to now type in your prompt, something about you being a superhero, because we know that teachers are, and it will generate 4 different pictures. Choose the one you like the best and add it to that space. How fun was that? I love watching everybody working in that big collaborative space. So you can understand why working on a whiteboard might require a little bit of conversation with students beforehand, but there are ways that we can monitor the students in that space. I kind of came into this whiteboard with assumed knowledge. My apologies for not mentioning earlier that down the bottom you have your zoom and you can zoom in and out. But a whiteboard is actually an infinite space, and you can get completely and utterly lost in this space. And if you ever do get lost in a whiteboard, head down to the bottom where it says the percentage zoom. And when you click on that percentage, it says fit. And once you tap on that, it's going to recenter everything. So imagine what you could do with these whiteboards in a classroom context. I've used them when we've been having technology user agreement meetings. We all have the conversations, we do some role playing and some activities, and then the students get in here and they all collaborate on what their class expectations might be for using technology. So it's just a place where you can gain feedback from people, you can share ideas and brainstorm together, lots of different ways that you can use whiteboards in an educational context, not only with your students, but also your teams and your staff. So to be able to come in here and all the settings and permissions that you give to somebody, you can take away as well. So sorry, didn't have the options along the side. Did you down this side here? Did you have the options for elements over here? If you can't see it, my suggestion is either refreshing your page or coming back in, because it sounds like we're having a glitchy moment. Do you want to...
Would it be if they've not logged in, that they might not be able to edit?
Yeah. No, everyone should be able to edit this, but if they, for some reason, don't have that bar down the side, I'm just thinking Works on my Canva, but not on the click on the link. How strange. That is I'm going to take a screenshot of that because that is something that I would like to follow up. Never heard of that happening before. All right. Good to know. I apologize that for some reason that didn't happen. I wonder if you closed it and reopened it, if it would fix it. That just seems to be my go-to strategy that fixes lots of problems. Okay. Right. So we do have 20 minutes and I could spend a whole day on this, but unfortunately, lots of other things that we need to get into. The next activity I'm going to get us to do is I'm going to drop another link into the chat. So get prepared. This one here is going to be a template link, which when I pop it into the chat and you click on it, it's going to force a duplicate in your Canva account. So we're not going to be working in a collaborative space now. You're all going to have your own copy.
Sorry, I'm just thinking, Joe, there is a maximum number of people that can edit a space, so maybe that might be the issue.
Ooh, I wonder if that's it, because we have 56 people here. I think that could be it. That clever girl, Abigail, you need to come work with me. I didn't even look at how many people we've got in the chat at the minute, because the last time I looked at it, it was 31. Thank you for that. That's probably it. So you can watch it, but you can't interact if we're over 50 people. That's worth knowing, guys, that there is a cap, but Canva is continually evolving and improving. So what I'm going to get you guys to do now is in the chat, this is going to force a copy so everyone will be able to have a go. You're going to get this Magic Studio document. And what you're going to do is open that up into your Canva editor and it's going to look like this. I'm just going to make a duplicate of this so that I don't, if somebody comes in later, it doesn't override. Okay, so once you're in this space, here's how we can now edit images. So I said before, when you created your Dreamlab image that you could put a comic burst on top of it, add some text, but this is where you can actually manipulate the image itself. So we've had a go at background remover, so we will skip that one. You can have a quick go at it if you want. Tap on your elephant and click background remover, but I won't talk about him too much. Ta-da! You guys are background remover pros now. On the next page, it says try Magic Eraser. Do you see why using your thumbnail view is so much more convenient in a situation where we have multiple pages? Make sure you're on this purple page here with the picture of a starfish at the beach. When you've tapped on that starfish and you have those options along the top here, head to the edit button. So I'll do it again. We're on the third page. It's got a picture of a starfish. Tap on the starfish picture and go to edit. Good job. That must mean people have walked out of our whiteboard and you'll be able to have a go. All right, so click on edit and then you get all of this extra toolbar show up down the left-hand side. Under the Magic Studio, this is where we're going to find all of the tools we're going to use in the next 10 minutes. The first tool we're going to look for is Magic Eraser. So when we've tapped on our picture, we go to edit. You'll see the one that says Magic Eraser. It's got, look, I think it's a box of fries. Can you see that box of fries there? Once you tap on that, you'll be able to either use a brush to brush over part of the picture and rub it out, or a click function. My suggestion with this is a click function's a lot easier. When you hover your cursor over parts of the picture, it'll actually highlight different parts. And I can simply tap on what I want to remove, click erase, and it will simply completely remove that part of the picture. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying we all know AI is not perfect. If you had, say, a family here and they were on a light colored background and you went and removed one person, it's going to draw from the color of the people and try and fill that void. And sometimes it might look like there's a bit of a ghost left over. So it's never perfect and it is well worth knowing that. But for this particular purpose, it's removed the starfish and it's done a really good job of it. It's used the picture here to fill in that negative space where the starfish used to be. I had somebody say to me that they took out their brother-in-law from their wedding photos this way because they'd separated and she didn't want him in their wedding photos anymore. So that's a pretty cool way. If you're on a school excursion, you have some photos of some students and there's a member of the public in the background, you can remove that person out of those pictures so the focus is on your students. Let's have a go at another one. Let's go to the 4th page down here, and when you click on it, you'll see a picture of a turtle and the seal. This time we're going to use Magic Grab. Now, Magic Grab, instead of erasing the animal or the picture, the part of the picture, it's going to detach it from the picture, and then you'll be able to move it around. So if we tap on our turtle here and we access the edit button, head on over to your Magic Studio and use the Magic Grab. So I'm just going to use my little arrow here to go across. The Magic Grab is this hot air balloon image. Once you tap on that, again, you could brush over it, which is, you know, a little more tedious. The click one here is a lot more intuitive. And you tap on your turtle, click Grab, and it's now going to separate the layers of the background and the foreground on your photo. And you'll be able to then pick up your turtle and move him around. Have a go at that now. And then you can practice again using your seal. So I can now put my turtle in the ocean, and I'll do exactly the same with the seal. Tap on your seal, click Edit. We're finding Magic Grab. The clue is in the page over here. And we're just going to remove our seal from the background. And we can pop him under the water as well. There we go. How cool is that? So if you had an image of maybe a poster that you created in Dreamlab or Magic Studio that had some text in it, and you think to yourself, I actually don't want that text in there anymore, you might remove the text. So this is a really good way for you to be able to edit images that you've already taken, so photos you've already taken or images that you've created using AI. Let's head on down to the 5th page here now. It's a pink page and it says try Magic Edit. When you tap on the picture of your, it's a computer on a desk, what we're going to do here is we are going to select a part of this photo and we're going to swap out a part of that photo for something new by typing in a written prompt. So once we tap on there, let's click Edit to access our Magic Studio. And our Magic Edit looks like this. It's got a rose and some flowers. When we tap on that, I'm going to brush over this one, and I can reduce or enhance the size of my brush by using that scroll bar there. I'm going to swap out this picture of the iPad by rubbing over the top of it with my brush, and I'm going to turn it into a book. Let's just type in Open Book into my prompt engine. Click Generate, and you're going to watch that iPad disappear and be replaced with a book. Let's have a go. You guys can have a go while we're doing this. Canva's nice and slow for me today. There we go. It's done a pretty good job. So this is obviously, again, something that only you as educators have access to, but you could, if you're creating a slideshow for an assembly and you need to swap out parts of the picture, if you're sending a student portfolio home and you need to, you know, maybe remove something from the background, maybe there's student work in the background and you don't want it to be identifying or whatnot, you could go in there and you can edit parts of the picture, which is pretty amazing. You can do it again. I'll give you another minute. Let's tap on that picture again and click Magic Edit. And I'm going to rub out my cup of coffee now, and I'm going to put in an ice cream sundae there instead. So and I'm not even getting really technical with my prompts here. I'm being really basic and it's doing all the work for me. Let's watch my cup of coffee go and be replaced with my ice cream. There we go. There, check it out. It's making me a bit hungry now. It's dinner time. All right, let's close that up. Hopefully you've all been able to modify part of your picture. There used to be an iPad here and there used to be a cup of coffee, but you wouldn't know because it's done a pretty good job of substituting my book and my ice cream there. Let's have a look at the next one on page 6. It's a purple page. And this one here I find to be really useful if, say, you're working in a landscape document, but you have a portrait picture and you want it to fill that whole space. And maybe it's a picture of a student, and when you stretch it out long ways, it's going to chop off part of the kid's head or part of their body or whatever it may be. This is just a really good way for you to be able to generate fill on a picture by choosing part of the top or the side or the bottom of the picture to fill in some negative space. So if you tap on your picture here and head to edit to access your Magic Studio again, we're going to keep scrolling on all the way to the end till we find Magic Expand. It's got a picture of a ladybug on it. And from here, I can simply grab the part of the picture that I want to make bigger. So I'm actually going to grab the side, but I'm also going to make it taller as well. And see this space now around my image where I can see that purple frame? AI is now going to fill in that space using the current image in here as its motivator. So let's click on, oh, this is good to know. Magic Expand is available for students. This is a really good one. I like this for when students have found a picture they like, but they'd like to be able to use it in a doc type. It doesn't suit very well. Let's click Expand here. And let's see what it does to fill in that negative space now. Let's give it a couple of seconds here. And we'll probably have a little bit more beach and a little bit more island here as well. I think because we're all using it together, it's slowing down. It's the end of the day. Check it out. So none of this was there before, but it's used that existing image to fill in that space there. Look at these 4 different ones it's come up with. This one's defying gravity, but check them out. Lots of different ways. And if we're not happy with it, we can always go and generate new results there as well. So that is an awesome tool for you to be able to just add more to your picture. Now, we also have generate an animation. This one here, I'm actually just going to demonstrate because we could spend a lot of time on it, but I'm conscious that we've got 8 minutes to go. This one here, if you just want to watch along, you'll be able to play along with it soon. This allows you to be able to animate any of your existing pictures that you've added to your design space. Now, obviously, it's not going to let you move the arm because it's a still static image. But when you click on animate up the top here, you can create your own pathway. So using this B over the button, over the side here, I'll just do it one more time for you. You tap on the element that you want and you click animate. And then you can animate using transitional effects down here. But the one I'm going to use is this B one. And this means that I can create my own pathway simply by grabbing, dragging, and then moving it around the screen. And then I can watch my element come to life. This is a fun one, you know, just for when you want to have a little bit of interactivity. You may be creating GIFs or memes or something, and you want to add a little bit of motion within your presentation or your document for your students. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that one. Just know that it is there. It doesn't come underneath your Magic Studio. It is found in that floating toolbar at the top here under Animate. Good, thank you, Abigail. You're saving my life here today. Animate is available for students. This is great, especially for when you're doing media arts. So that's a really good one. Or you want to animate a character in a digital story for your literacy lessons. Now, there is one more. You won't have access to it just yet, but we do have another function called background generator, which you guys will have access to from the 21st of May. And I'm not going to get you all hyped up and excited about that just yet. In a week's time, you'll be able to take away the background of any picture and substitute it. So in the picture that we had over here, you were substituting different parts of your picture, but you will be able to go in there. Oops. I clicked the wrong button there, sorry. Let me go back. You'll be able to go in there and you'll be able to edit the background of your, change the background of your entire picture, which is pretty cool. The final one I wanted to show you in this space is on the last page. You are able to resize any of your documents, and you simply do that by heading up to the top where it says resize and you can transform your document all the way down the bottom here. So we head up to resize in that top blue bar up the top here. Keep scrolling till you see transform doc, and you are able to transform it into other doc types. So that's just a really good one if you think, I've made this really cool presentation and now I want to turn it into a worksheet. You'll be able to take that information and repurpose it. So we do have 5 more minutes before we have a couple of minutes for questions. I want to show you something. You won't have access to this just yet, but I want to get you really excited about some new AI functions that you'll be able to access from the 21st. So if you all just want to have a look back up here on my screen, let me find the right page for you. We have access to Canva. Let me head out here. Canva Code for Me. And this is an incredible way for you to now be able to create widgets, virtual manipulatives, digital tools, games, a lot of gamification, and all sorts of things that you can then simply take and put into your learning management system or drop into another document that you've created. So your page looks a little different to mine. From the 21st, you'll have this access button here that says Canva AI. And this is where you can access this button called Code for Me, where we can simply type into here, create a memory game of the solar system planets. So you think about what you might be working on in class, and create a game or an activity for the students to work on, and it's going to code and build you that game. So no more having to doom scroll through the internet for hours, have 27 tabs open and ready to go, or pay for subscriptions or apps on the iPads. You'll be able to make your own now as well. So we're going to create a memory game of solar system planets where students tap on to match them, make pictures of the planets. Oops, look at my typing. As real as possible. All right, so simply by typing in a code, typing in a prompt, it's going to now generate the code. So for those that are quite techie or work in high school with digital technologies, soon, and it is being worked on, you'll actually be able to grab that code and you'll be able to manipulate the code. But for the moment, it's going to find, it's going to create an activity for you, which you can then share. And a really good way for you to share this, especially if you're working with younger students, is you might create a QR code of this game, and the students can then go in your group work and work independently, doing some consolidation of your activities in here. So this is just a fun way for you to create widgets and tools in Canva. Let me see if I have an example to show you. I have closed my page. I have lots of examples here. Let me open up one that I have made beforehand. Here's the exact same instance that I'm just building now. Here is a memory game of different planets. I've not put in enough of a prompt here to make the pictures look good enough, but I can now take this picture and this game and I can drop it into a learning management system or make a QR code or share it in another document. And I've really just now negated the need for a whole bunch of other support systems, apps, subscriptions, you name it. If you can dream it, you can make it. Before I head off, there is just worth noting, and I'll pop this into the chat, an AI in the Classroom certification course that you guys can complete. And having done today's session, you will fly through this in the less than 1 hour suggested time. And you'll get a nice little certificate that you can brag about online. The game is hosted in Canva, but you can create a public view link. So if I take this memory game, I can drop that public, I can share that, and it will create a public view link that I can drop into any other system. So it kind of turns it into its own little website. So you don't have to be logged into Canva to access the generation, and you can then embed it into other areas of or learning management systems or whatever you mean. You can copy and paste the code on another website. I think that depends on the type of the website host and what if they allow you to embed these sorts of things in there. That is a great question, but completely dependent on the the website host and what, yeah, good. Excellent. So I think that's one of the most exciting things to come today. For those people that are interested in that, I will send to Abigail. I'm doing like half an hour sessions on just introducing some of the new features that will be available in Canva from next week, including this, and I'll be recording it. So if you want to come along, I've set 3 different times that all just a repeat of each other, and you're more than welcome to come along and watch that or get the recording later. So I'll include that in my communication with Abigail, but I'm also going to share this deck with you so that you can access everything we've learned about today, and the recording will be made available to you guys as soon as Abigail's got that ready to send out. So I've taken up all of your time today. If anyone wants to drop a question into the chat, I know you all probably need to run off, but I'm hoping that you've taken something away from today. And thank you, and enjoy your time on AI. It's a very exciting time to be alive, I think.